Hey there, welcome back. Now in this previous video here, I shared about why we closed our cafe temporarily. I even shared their lessons that you could also learn from. Make sure you watch if you haven't yet. And for today's video, I'm gonna be sharing to you the steps that we did when we reopened our cafe. So I'm gonna be sharing behind the scenes plus some tips on what you should consider when you open your cafe. Kasi our approach here is as if we are really opening from scratch. So if you're interested, then keep on watching. First tip, finalize your menu before you buy in bulk, and also make sure you have a very reliable supplier. So I think our approach now would be lesson learned from compared to when we started 6 years ago. I think I've shared here in my videos, previous stories, that when we were still starting before, though we are coffee lovers, but we really didn't have idea on creating the coffee itself. We didn't do barista training, and we just depended in one supplier which has everything. But there's nothing wrong with that for as long as confident ka dun sa costing na binibigay nila. Kasi with that kind of approach, yes, they give you the supplies, they even give you the costing and then the recipe. But make sure na yung sa costing is kaya mong magpatong, which would be profitable on your end naman sa business mo. Diba? So that's what we did here this time with lesson learned. So I did first a testing for the menu, and doon ako nag-bulk purchase from different suppliers, reliable suppliers of 6 years of doing this business already. So I'm just grateful to have that 6 years experience compared to having it from scratch really before. So nagkaiba lang, medyo may experience na ako. So that's my tip for you if you are still starting from zero, so you don't experience also the same mistake that I did years before. Second tip is never skip to train your employees. Not only in making the drinks, but at the same time also in your standard operating procedures sa cafe mo. So in starting a cafe or putting up a cafe business, there's more to just creating the coffee drink. Okay? Yung training nila should also cover customer service, taking of the orders, and even reconciling sales report. It goes beyond talaga just making the drink. So if your training for your employees would just be the barista training and making the drinks, you would really have a hard time, especially pag open na kayo, and then they would now have a lot of questions. Worse, if meron silang customer or may customer na nagreklamo because they weren't really trained well with their customer service. So in my end, we really had 2 to 3 days of training, our staff. So I started first with the basics of coffee. I really want them to be confident. Hindi sila experienced, but I have no problem with no experience sa kape. Basta willing lang to learn, and we are aligned with our values. So I started muna into introduction to coffee. So I want them to be confident talaga. And then when a customer would ask questions about our coffee, etc., they would be able to answer. So I started with that. We did coffee brewing methods up until I taught them how to use our espresso machine, specific for our type of machines kasi iba-iba yung machines, ha. And then creating espresso, and then already creating our drink. And of course, I also did training to them, with regards to, aside from customer service, with regards to our standard operating procedures, yung mga pag-i-inventory, it also is included, yung mga pag-report ng mga sales, and then also pag-record ng mga petty cash or any disbursement sa cafe. So never skip that kung ayaw niyong sumakit yung ulo niyo once you're already open. So speaking of training them with regards to coffee and also the operations, you basically need an operations manual, and all the systems in place for your cafe. And I actually teach that to my students. I have the Small Coffee Business Academy. If you're interested, here's a link here where you could check, and if you would want to join us, you could join us at Small Coffee Business Academy, or if hindi pa kayo ready, you could also join us in the Life Brewers Club, where we talk about coffee and brewing a business and a life that we love. Let's go now to our next tip. Next step would be make sure you do simulation. So after training them onto everything, para kayong magro-roleplay na kunwari, merong order, no? And sino yung mag-a-accept. And then, paano niya i-key-in sa POS. And then, sino yung gagawa? If silang tatlo lang in the shift or apat sila, how would they assign each other? Or paano yung galawan nila sa bar? So that once you already have yung talagang totoong customer, medyo sanay na sila sa galawan nila within the bar. So, really, really, very important yung simulation. So, I also did that. Next step also works, most especially if meron kayong food in your cafe. Make sure na aside from giving them the recipe, they also really do the actual drink, and they know how it looks like, and they know how to serve it. So for example, cakes, diba? It's just easy to say na pag may nabentang cake, bigay mo tong chocolate cake sa customer. But the question is, saan plato nila ilalagay? Paano nila ilalagay sa plate? Ano yung kasama sa plate once they serve that to the customer? So let's say for cakes, no, the cake should be in a saucer. There should be a fork, no, or a dessert spoon or fork, and then tissue. Yun yung isuserve nila sa customer. The same also with drinks. So let's say, for example, just easy to say, let's say may nag-order ng mocha. After that, ano ba? What's next? So you tell them that this is the look of the mocha. Dapat ganito yung mukha niya. And then when you serve that to the customer sa table niya, there should be the parang cork, no, or the coaster, and then there should be straw, or tissue ba whatsoever, depende kung ano yung presentation nyo sa cafe, so that everything is uniform, no, and also for the convenience ng ating customers. That would be different also if your business is purely takeout, diba? So after nilang matutunan how to make the drinks, now what's next? Paano nila ipapack? Saan nila ipapack? No? And how would they give it to the customer? Para of course, yung customer na nag-receive, kompleto naman lahat. Another tip is, of course, sa ating promotions, no, in social media, make sure to post days ahead of your opening. Kasi huwag nyo hintayin na opening day na kayo mag-post, diba? Let people know, show to them behind the scenes na you're actually getting ready to welcome them. So in our case, we posted again na we're getting ready to welcome them back. So mga around ilang weeks din kami hindi nagpo-post, no, but we receive a lot of messages kung kailan kami mag-open. So we were really happy na nung nag-post kami, and marami yung nag-PM din, and then we also took the initiative to send messages dun sa mga nag-initial na nag-inquire if when kami mag-open. So we told them that, hey, we're opening again on February 16, I hope to see you, blah blah blah. And we even shared to them our new menu so that they would also know na ahead, no, and already choose. They already have an idea on our pricing sa cafe. So promotions would be very, very important, most especially if you are still opening your new cafe. If you find this tip helpful, guys, I am sure you'll also find what we have inside the Life Brewers Club. It's my online community membership. If you're interested, can you check the links in the description box? That's where I get to really interact with everyone watching me here in YouTube and also interacting with me in Facebook. That's where I tambay every day, and I also answer questions, no, specific for their coffee business. So if you're interested, you can join us at the Life Brewers Club. It's an online community with a Facebook group plus a direct messenger with me. So here are the links here. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that tips were helpful, and good luck in your coffee business. I'll see you in my next videos.